Link wants to build a better life, so he looks to his productivity idols for inspiration. But they're doing a lot. Waking up at 5 a.m., taking cold showers, they're meditating, journaling. How are they doing so much? Link feels behind, so he tries to do everything he can to catch up. But it's just too much, and he ends up overwhelming himself, and none of his habits stick. Ganon is focused. He understands that self-improvement means playing the long game. He doesn't blindly hop on trends or get easily distracted by the next thing. Instead, he chooses just 3 habits, specifically designed to move him closer to his goals. These are his golden habits. When I jumped headfirst into these big life changes, like overhauling my entire study system or trying these elaborate 10-step morning routines, it was overwhelming, and I ended up not sticking with any of it. What helped me was start small and strategically. Answer the simple questions first, like how many habits am I going to build? And which habits? Which are the highest impact for me right now in my life that will get me closer to my long-term goals? Let's start with how many habits. So most people would assume that building just one habit at a time is best, but it's possible and encouraged to go for multiple at the same time. Everyone's a little different, but a simple approach would be to just pick 3 or 4 new habits. This can be spread across an average week, or it can be spread across the phases of a day. For example, like a habit in the morning, afternoon, and evening. However you want to do it, start small and slowly build up from there. The second thing to think about is which habits. Sure, a lot of habits out there are great, but if I told you to only focus on 4, which ones would you pick and how would you go about picking them? So one framework is the habit tree approach. Imagine that you're a video game character and you're leveling up your skill tree. If you're just starting out and you're low level, then you don't have that many skill points to use, right? So you gotta pick carefully. I would go for the ones that I enjoy or that make the game of life more fun. Or I would go for the ones that serve a purpose, that move me closer to a specific goal. To make things easier, we've broken down some of the best evidence-based habits into 4 skill trees. We've got productivity, work, fitness, and mental health. These were arranged to cover a balance of categories across your life. So one way to approach it is to pick one habit from each tree for a well-rounded system. So let's do a deeper dive into some of these branches, keeping in mind that this is just a framework and many habits often have benefits in multiple areas of your life. If there's a particular habit you struggle with, then the timestamps are in the description. So let's start with the productivity tree. These are categories of habits that help us work more efficiently. First, we have the branch of time management, effectively managing your time and tasks that you need to get done. So a few of these habits would be time blocking or using a to-do list. You got using a calendar, batching, and prioritization. We have a lot of videos covering many of these habits, so to save you some time, I'll be sure to link them in the description. The next branch is energy management, making sure you have enough energy to get things done and in a sustainable way. Some of these habits include caffeine and paying attention to how much you're drinking and what times of the day you're drinking it at, setting up night routines so that you can go to bed on time and get enough sleep, drinking water to stay hydrated, and cutting back on sugar and processed foods, which can give you crashes during the daytime. Next, we have the focus branch. This is helping you manage your attention. These habits include things like Pomodoro or Flomodoro, using silent mode or focus mode while you're working, taking routine breaks, preferably every 60 to 90 minutes at minimum, and using a dedicated workspace. Next is the cleaning or decluttering branch. Basically, keeping your physical space organized helps a lot with productivity. Some of these habits include making your bed, doing a weekly tidy of your room or workspace, doing chores around the house, using the 2-minute rule. Check out our 2-minute video for more information on that, and a habit of inbox zero for your email. Next, we have the work tree. These are categories of habits related to our careers and meaningful work. So first, we have the career branch with habits like keeping a running resume of your credentials and accomplishments. We got practicing a skill like public speaking or giving presentations. We got learning new tools like spreadsheets, learning a new language, and networking. Next, we have the branch for learning and studying. For all the full-time students out there, your main job is to learn and study. So these habits include study planning. By the way, check out our free Notion template if you haven't already. Searching or getting in the habit of Googling or GPTing things that you don't know. And what we've talked about extensively on this channel is using smart study techniques like retrieval and spacing. The next branch is creativity, which is like the ultimate form of learning and brings so much more enrichment to your life. We got habits like writing, which is a habit I believe everyone should be doing. It gives your thinking so much clarity. We got the habit of reading, especially reading widely, all sorts of things like nonfiction to fiction to biographies. This helps you broaden your scope and perspective of all the things that you're trying to be creative about. note. We got capturing ideas with a scratch pad or a quick capture. All those times when you have all these brilliant ideas in the shower or while you're doing the dishes or driving, gotta have a way to capture those ideas. We got the habit of listening to podcasts and got the habit of practicing a skill or a hobby like a musical instrument or other artistic endeavor. Next is the money branch. These are habits that have to do with personal finance, like budgeting, paying off bills and credit cards on time, tracking your spending, putting monies into a savings and investments accounts, and just generally learning more about personal finance. Next, we have the fitness tree. These categories are about physical health and self-care. So the first branch here is exercise, mainly getting into a habit of routine exercise, whether it's for getting better at a sport or activity, or just staying healthy in general. You've got habits for stretching, weight training, and improving your grip strength for better weight training. The next branch is nutrition. This includes habits like home cooking your meals, eating less takeout food, meal prepping, counting your calories, fasting or avoiding eating at certain times such as right before bed, and habits like cutting back on excessive snacking. The next branch is sleep. We've got lots of videos on this topic. These habits involve good sleep hygiene, like limiting your screens closer to bedtime, using a bedtime alarm, getting sunlight soon after waking up, and trying your best not to snooze. I'm still working on that habit myself. The next branch is self-care, which is generally taking good care of your body. These habits include things like fixing your posture, grooming and hygiene like skincare, and also washing your bed sheets and towels regularly. And all the habits involving detox, like cutting back on alcohol, smoking, drugs, and junk food. Next, we have the mentality tree. These categories have to do with mindset and mental health. The first branch here is mindfulness. These are habits like meditation or breathing exercises. We got journaling, self-reflection, gratitude practices, and praying. Next is the motivation branch. Some of these habits include daily affirmations, goal setting, and weekly, monthly, and yearly reviews. And I'm just going to throw in cold showers too, because that's a habit that really tests your motivation. Next is the relationships branch. These are things to do with socializing. So habits like keeping up with family and friends, tracking birthdays and special occasions with your loved ones, practicing communication and listening skills, and just showing appreciation for those you care about. The last branch here is mental health. Habits like practicing less negativity or cutting back on negative mindsets, cutting back on comparing yourself to others, that's a big one, gossiping, overindulging on cheap dopamine like social media and porn, getting in the habit of going outside every once in a while, and exercise, a great remedy for low mood and depression. So to avoid making this video 2 hours long, I'm going to link the best videos that deep dive into some of these habits in the description. But take some time to go through these and ask yourselves which ones would make your daily life more enjoyable, or which ones would be the highest impact towards your long-term goals right now. If you did the exercise from our first lesson here, then think about what habits would fit into your systems and processes that lead to your character transformation. So for example, if your goal is to become a doctor, then you ask yourself, what kind of person becomes a doctor? Someone who is good at and enjoys learning. You generally need to be in the top 10% of your class to be competitive for medical school. This person should also enjoy working with people and serving others. So we want to pick golden habits around systems and processes that would make us better at learning and studying and helping us in serving others. So let's make this more practical. Okay, let's say you don't know how to study smart and you need to learn how to learn. A golden habit could be to set aside 10 to 15 minutes a day before you start studying to learn about better study techniques or better note-taking apps or something along those lines. Or you can spend 10 minutes a day working through StudyQuest, which is our ultimate course on how to study. Another golden habit could have something to do with serving others, like volunteering at a local soup kitchen or learning a new language so that you can be a translator for a free clinic. So just take some time to brainstorm, like, what are the highest impact habits for your goals? I'd recommend you write it down or make a mind map, like write your goal in the middle and then brainstorm all the different branches of what your golden habits would be. Once you've completed that, then let me know what you've chosen in the comments below. We'll be making a free Habit Quest Notion template eventually with more guidance and workbooks. So when that's ready, you can find it in the description below. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson.